2024 and 2025 are shaping up to be quite the treat for movie enthusiasts, with a lineup of highly anticipated films that promise action, adventure, and a touch of the extraordinary. From the arid sands of Arrakis to the web-slinging of Spider-Man and the return of some beloved superheroes, there's something for everyone on the horizon. Now, let's dive into the details of these upcoming films that promise to make 2024 and 2025 unforgettable in the world of movies. Dune Part 2. Dune Part 2 is here, where we head back to the unforgiving desert world of Arrakis. Timothée Chalamet is back as Paul Atreides, now teaming up with Zendaya as Chani and the Freeman to stop a looming disaster. At the same time, Paul is out for revenge against those who killed his family. The star-studded cast includes familiar faces like Rebecca Ferguson, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, Stellan Skarsgård, and Dave Bautista. And there are some fresh faces too, with Florence Pugh, Austin Butler, Christopher Walken, and Léa Seydoux joining the crew. Originally, we were all set to dive into this epic on November 3, 2023, but there's been a little delay due to the ongoing strikes. Mark your calendars for the new release date, March 15, 2024. Spider-Man Beyond the Spiderverse. More web-slinging action is on the way with Spider-Man Beyond the Spiderverse, continuing the Spiderverse trilogy. It picks up right where we left off with Miles Morales, voiced by Shameik Moore, and his crew at the end of the last movie. Miles seems to be stuck in a different dimension with the Prowler, but don't worry, Spider-Gwen, played by Haley Steinfeld, and a bunch of other familiar Spidey characters are on a mission to rescue him. While we don't have all the juicy plot details yet, the anticipation is through the roof. Originally, we were counting down the days until its release on March 29, 2024, but hold on to your spiderwebs because there's been a delay, and the new release date is still up in the air. But one thing's for sure, when Spider-Man Beyond the Spiderverse finally swings into theaters, it's going to be an epic adventure that Spider-Man fans won't want to miss. Deadpool 3. Wisecracking action is back, with Ryan Reynolds back as the cheeky merc with a mouth in Deadpool 3. And this time, he's bringing along some familiar faces who are stepping into the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the first time. Notably, Hugh Jackman is donning the claws as Wolverine, and Jennifer Garner is taking on the role of Elektra. This time around, Shawn Levy is calling the shots from the director's chair, and the cast includes Emma Corrin from The Crown and Matthew McFadden from Succession, although their roles are still a mystery. So it's a star-studded lineup for sure. Mark your calendars for May 3, 2024, because that's when Deadpool is set to unleash his trademark humor and action. Furiosa. Mad Max enthusiasts, it's time to celebrate because George Miller is back in the director's chair with Furiosa, a prequel to the legendary franchise. In this exciting installment, Anya Taylor-Joy steps into the boots of Imperator Furiosa, portraying a younger version of the character originally brought to life by Charlize Theron in Fury Road. The story follows Furiosa's journey as she gets entangled with the warlord Dementus, who leads a fearsome biker horde. And the star power doesn't stop there. Chris Hemsworth and Tom Burke are also part of the cast, although the details of their roles are being kept hush-hush for now. With George Miller back at the helm and this stellar cast, Furiosa promises to be a thrilling addition to the Mad Max saga. So, clear your schedule for May 24, 2024, if you don't want to miss the post-apocalyptic wasteland. Venom 3, Let There Be Carnage sequel. Sony's Spider-Man universe is bringing us another chapter in the story of Eddie Brock and his symbiotic buddy, Venom. This time around, they're facing off against Cletus Cassidy, also known as Carnage, and he's played by none other than Woody Harrelson. Carnage is a real piece of work, bonded with a red symbiote that's all about causing chaos and spilling some blood. There's a new character in the mix too, Shriek, Carnage's partner, who's got some pretty wild sound powers. So mark your calendars for July 11, 2024. Thunderbolts. Phase 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is shaking things up with a fresh group of not-so-typical heroes in Thunderbolts. What's the deal? Well, they've taken some former baddies and convinced them to join the government for hush-hush missions in exchange for lighter punishments. It's a pretty unusual squad. You've got Zemo, Ghost, Yelena Belova, Abomination, and Taskmaster on the roster, each with their own set of special skills. Get ready for some action, because this intriguing team is hitting the screens on December 20, 2024. Fantastic Four. Marvel fans, mark your calendars because there's a change in the schedule. The much-anticipated reboot of Fantastic Four from Marvel Studios was originally set to drop in November 2024, but now you'll have to wait until May 2, 2025 to see it. This movie kicks off Phase 6 of the MCU. They've got some talented folks on board for this one. Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer are handling the screenplay, and the experienced director Matt Shakman, known for his role on shows like Fargo, Game of Thrones, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and the MCU's WandaVision, is taking the helm. As for the storyline, Marvel Studios is playing their cards close to the chest, but Kevin Feige, the big boss over there, has hinted that they're going for something different from the usual origin story, considering how many times the Fantastic Four have been adapted before. The Batman 2. The Caped Crusaders film journey had a bit of a bumpy ride after Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy, but then came The Batman, directed by Matt Reeves and starring Robert Pattinson. This 2022 film hit the mark, wowing audiences and critics alike. It brought back the brooding, noir-inspired atmosphere we love about Batman and had top-notch production design to boot. Good news followed quickly with the announcement of a proper sequel, with both Pattinson and Reeves returning, and they've got Mattson Tomlin from Project Power on board to help with the script. We can see this sequel hit theaters on October 3, 2025. The Batman already built a unique version of Gotham City, so the possibilities are endless for where they could take the sequel. Pattinson even mentioned his interest in the Court of Owls storyline, and Reeves has talked about a more down-to-earth take on Mr. Freeze. And let's not forget Barry Cohen's Joker, who made his debut at the end of The Batman. He could be a major player in the next installment. Untitled Avatar: The Last Airbender movie. Back in early 2021, Avatar: The Last Airbender fans had a reason to celebrate when Avatar Studios was announced. This new division, part of Paramount Plus and Nickelodeon, was all about expanding the beloved franchise. Even more exciting, the original creators, Brian Konietzko and Michael Dante DiMartino, were taking on key creative roles, and the studio's very first project, an animated movie, is headed for theaters. Fast forward over a year later, and Nickelodeon dropped the news that the film would follow Avatar Aang and his friends, but when it comes to the actual plot, they've kept it locked up tight. However, considering the Avatar franchise's recent history, we can make some educated guesses. We've got these official comics from Dark Horse that picks up right after the original show, so it's unlikely the movie will just retell those stories. Plus, the original voice cast has all grown up, and Zach Tyler Eisen, the voice of Aang, isn't really doing voice work these days. So it could make more sense for the movie to follow the adult versions of our favorite Avatar: The Last Airbender characters, maybe with new voices, or using the ones we heard in flashbacks during The Legend of Korra. The anticipation is building, and we'll have to wait until October 10, 2025 to see how it all pans out. Well, that's it. For now, make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you at the next one.